In 1937, the most famous woman in the world vanished over the Pacific Ocean. For decades, we were told simply that she ran out of fuel and sank into the abyss. But these files in the vault suggest a different story, one of desperate radio distress calls that lasted for days after she supposedly died, and a lonely island where a woman's bones were found alongside a jar of American freckle cream. If you're drawn to the stories the world was never supposed to remember, you're in the right place. But before we crack the seal on these files, reach down and engage the deadbolt on the like button so we aren't interrupted. Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, were on the final leg of their flight around the world. Their destination was Howland Island, a tiny speck of land in the vast blue Pacific Ocean. At 8:43 a.m., Amelia radioed a Coast Guard cutter. "We are on the line 157337. We are running north and south." Then, just static. But the mystery didn't end there. For the next 3 days, amateur radio operators across the U.S. reported picking up frantic distress signals. One girl in Florida claimed she heard Amelia screaming that the water was rising and she was stuck on a reef. If she had crashed into the ocean, the radio wouldn't have worked, though. The only way she could transmit was if the plane was on dry land. A short distance away from Howland Island is Nikumaroro. On the uninhabited island of Nikumaroro, researchers have found more than just rumors. They found a sextant box similar to the one Noonan used, an aluminum panel matching a Lockheed Electra, and most chillingly, remains found in 1940 that a modern forensic study suggests belong to a woman of Amelia's height and ethnicity. Let's dive into the theories. Theory number 1. She landed on the reef of Nikumaroro and lived as a castaway for weeks, eventually succumbing to thirst and injury while the world searched thousands of miles away. Some believe she was a spy for the government and was captured by the Japanese military, eventually dying in a prison camp on Saipan. Theory number 3. The official stance remains that she ditched at sea and the plane is sitting 18,000 feet below the surface, waiting for technology to catch up to her. And the last theory. Nikumaroro is infested with coconut crabs. These are the largest land-dwelling arthropods on Earth, with a leg span of 3 feet and a sense of smell so acute they can detect blood from miles away. Researchers conducted a taphany experiment on the island using a pig carcass. The giant crabs didn't just eat it. They systematically disarticulated the bones and carried them into deep crevices. This would explain why, when searchers arrived, they found only a fraction of a human skeleton. If Amelia was injured and fell asleep on the beach, she may have been swarmed by thousands of these 10-pound predators while still alive. Perhaps the most haunting part of this file isn't that Amelia vanished. It's that she might have been found, not by a rescue team and not by a passing ship. If the Nikumaroro evidence is true, Amelia spent her final nights huddled on a pitch-black beach, listening to the rhythmic clicking of thousands of armored legs moving across the coral. She would have watched as massive 3-foot predators emerged from the shadows, drawn by the scent of her injuries, waiting for her to close her eyes just one last time. What do you think happened? The facts are documented, but the truth remains elusive. If you enjoy this dive into the unknown, join us by subscribing to the channel. Until we open the vault again, thanks for watching.